I took my mom canoeing last summer on the Racket River in Potsdam. It was a beautiful day, the water lilies in full bloom, the sun was glistening. It would not have been possible without a special boat launch that there is in Ives Park in Potsdam that makes it easier for people to get in and out of the boat. Well, there's a similar boat launch that's new on Great Sacandaga Lake in Northville, and it's making it possible for more people to enjoy the health, the exercise, and the quality of life benefits of being on the water. That's today's story of the day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Long Run Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor in Lake Placid, providing comprehensive wealth management, retirement, and financial planning solutions. LongRunWealth.com. And the Devlin Inn and Suites, Lake Placid, welcoming families, athletes, and groups to the Olympic Village, offering Adirondack mountain views and dog-friendly accommodations. TheDevlinNY.com.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Wednesday, July 23rd. First up, Representative Mike Lawler will not run for New York governor next year. That could clear the way for North Country Congresswoman Elise Stefanik to challenge Governor Kathy Hochul next year. John Campbell reports for the New York Public News Network.
The Hudson Valley Republican had been weighing a challenge to Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul. But on Fox and Friends, he said he'll run for a third term in Congress instead.
I've decided the right thing to do for me and my family and my district is to run for re-election.
Governor Hochul is seeking a second full term in 2026. Lawler had traveled across the state in recent months, making his pitch to Republican leaders. Now, his decision could clear the way for a fellow House Republican to enter the race. Representative Elise Stefanik has been teasing a run of her own. She says she'll make an announcement after this year's general election. In Albany, I'm John Campbell for the New York Public News Network.
Police have released the autopsy results for the 9-year-old girl from Montreal whose body was found in Essex County Sunday afternoon. According to state police, preliminary results show Melina Fritolin died of asphyxia due to drowning. The manner of her death was ruled as homicide. Melina's father, 45-year-old Luciano Fritolin of Montreal, has been charged with second-degree murder and concealment of a human corpse in connection with his daughter's death. Police say the two were in the United States on vacation last week. Luciano allegedly killed Melina sometime Saturday night before calling 911 and claiming she'd been abducted. Police say there's no evidence to support that. Forest rangers found Melina's body in a pond in Ticonderoga Sunday afternoon. Luciano Fritolin is currently being held at the Essex County Jail. Police are asking the public for help gathering additional information on where he and Melina traveled in a gray 2024 Toyota Prius. People are asked to call 518-873-2750 or email crimetip@troopers.ny.gov with any information. There are hundreds of public launches for canoes and kayaks across the Adirondack Park. But carrying your boat down a steep shore and hoisting yourself into it isn't something everyone can do. A new boat launch in the southern Adirondack village of Northville is making it easier for folks to get their boats in the water regardless of their ability. David Escobar joined the group of local paddlers who made it all happen.
It's a warm morning on Northville Lake. The water looks like glass. A small group of women in life vests is standing at the top of a 20-foot ramp. One by one, they begin loading their boats onto what looks like a metal conveyor belt.
We're using a ramp that the kayaks can slide down on.
That's Donna Frederick. What she's describing is part of a new universal kayak launch installed on Northville Lake in September. It's designed for kayakers and canoeists with limited mobility. It allows people to glide their boats down onto a platform that's submerged only a few inches into the lake.
And then there's the bars for the kayakers to hold on to as they get into the boat. And then there's rails on the sides that they can push themselves out into the water.
The boat launch is the first of its kind in the Adirondack Park. It was donated to the village by the Northville Rotary Foundation. Naomi Darling Parker spearheaded the project, which cost around $60,000. She's also a member of the paddling group I'm tagging along with, called Ladies of the Lake.
It's important, for anybody who would like to use the lake to be able to use the lake. You know, not just somebody in a wheelchair, but people in their 80s still need to be able to be active. In order to age gracefully and with health, we need to stay active, and this keeps us safe.
The group lines up on the boat launch ramp and begins pulling their boats down to shore. Sandy Peters ducks under a metal support bar and uses a set of nylon straps to lower herself into her bright blue kayak. Peters is from Gloversville. She began paddling with the Ladies of the Lake to keep herself active now that she's retired.
Those shoulders that were kind of starting to bother me the end of the winter, when I got out kayaking, they just open right up and they just feel so much better.
Once she's settled in, Peters grabs the side rails and scooches herself out onto the lake.
Whoa, here we go.
The dock makes getting into the water feel a lot more stable, and Donna Frederick says it's even a little fun.
Because it's not that challenging to, balance. You don't have to worry about falling out of the boat.
There's already a flotilla of about a dozen kayaks on the lake ready to begin paddling. Now it's my turn. It's a lot easier getting into my boat compared to a more typical dock. I grab the side rails and begin dragging my kayak out onto the water. And we're off. We paddle a mile down lake. By the turnaround point, the group is surrounded by dragonflies and water lilies. That's where I meet Linda Brown, who's been paddling with the Ladies of the Lake for nearly a decade.
I met this group in 2015, right after we bought our house. We were part-time here, knew nobody, and my neighbor asked if I liked to kayak.
Brown lives nearby in Broadalbin. Before there was ever a universal kayak launch, Brown says the group carried their boats down a steep bank to access the lake. But she says it was dangerous.
One of the gals, a friend, was helping me carry my heavy boat down the previously very steep launch area, and she fell and hurt her knee pretty badly.
Brown says that incident was just one example of the need for a safer launch area, especially for paddlers like herself.
We are aging, and hopefully aging gracefully and with fun, but as we get older, it is harder. The best thing about this group is we all help each other.
After about an hour on the water, we're back where we started. We're coming to the approach. And stuck the landing. Because the platform is just a few inches under the water, we can paddle up to it and easily get out of our boats. Naomi Darling Parker stands nearby, smiling. She says seeing this group is a reminder that the new dock isn't just a piece of infrastructure. It's a gateway.
Just because you're handicapped or less able doesn't mean you shouldn't enjoy nature. Everybody should have access to it. So we need to make accommodations where we can, as much as we can.
For Darling Parker, that vision starts on this small lake. David Escobar, North Country Public Radio, Northville.
David Escobar is a Report for America Corps member. He reports on diversity issues in the Adirondacks through a partnership between North Country Public Radio and Adirondack Explorer. We have more news all the time on our website, ncpr.org. Music today by Alan Dunham of South Glens Falls and Oscar Sarmiento of Potsdam. I'm David Summerstein, North Country Public Radio.